I messed up.
You messed up. I was able to see it. I seen it.
Yeah, it's so funny. What's so funny is that so about hmm 2 years ago, I started a podcast. It was called Bounce Back Wednesdays,
Love
and the
it.
purpose of Bounce Back Wednesdays was to raise awareness about adverse childhood experiences. So I
Mhm.
would invite somebody to come on every Wednesday, and people would share their ACE scores, and they would share the things that came up when they took the ACEs questionnaire. So that's what I based the topic on. So you heard about the ACEs? You know about the ACEs?
No,
No.
no.
Okay, let me share it real fast.
Yeah, share.
Because it all ties into just, I believe, what you guys are doing, the work, what you're
Yeah,
going to share.
yeah.
So, back in like 1995, 97,
Mm-hmm.
the CDC and Kaiser conducted a study on 17,800 of their HMO members.
Oh, nice.
And they did this because they discovered they were having a lot of certain behavior issues and health issues. So
Mhm.
obesity, smoking all the time,
Yeah,
alcoholics. They like, what's going on?
right.
So they created this questionnaire, and it's 10 indicators, and it's divided into three categories. So it's abuse, neglect, and dysfunctional household.
Mm.
So within those are the subcategories. So abuse. So if any of these indicators happen to you between the ages 0 and 18. So did you grow up in a household where you experienced physical abuse, emotional abuse, or sexual abuse, emotional neglect, physical neglect? Within a dysfunctional household, did you witness domestic violence? Did you have a family member that was incarcerated? Did you have somebody in the household that was a substance abuse user? Um,
Interesting.
Loss of a parent due to death, divorce, abandonment, or separation, and somebody in the household mentally ill.
Mm.
So if you have four or more of those indicators, you're at a higher risk of having some serious health issues like lung disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, stroke, all of these issues. So I was big on raising awareness about it because it contributes to a lot of social determinants.
Definitely. Yeah.
So and those health disparities and everything.
Yeah.
So I haven't used StreamYard in a while. Okay.
So you're bringing it back. So it's changed a little bit. I've never
So
used this before. This is amazing.
yeah, so I
Yeah,
created everything.
I love the flyer that it's on. It's like
Thank you.
super branded. I
Yeah,
love it. You're doing amazing work.
thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I'm excited to have you on. So everybody, welcome to Tap In Tuesdays. Man, this is a platform where, listen, if you're tuned in and you have an event that's coming up, something that really contributes to improving the community engagement, community education, anything having to do that will, yeah, improve the community, improve people's lives, make an impact on people's lives. Listen, you can tap in with me. I'll make sure I bring you on so you can share the information because it's important that people get this information, that they could show up and get involved somehow. So I'm excited today to discuss an event that Solano Commission for Women and Girls, and it's a birth justice event. You go ahead,
Yeah,
okay? You go
yeah. Well,
ahead.
thank you so much for allowing me to be on your platform. I'm super excited to be here today. My name is Rayshawnda Madison. I have the privilege of working with the Solano Commission for Women and Girls. I sit on the commission as the vice chair, and I've been working with them for a little over a year now. And we're getting ready to bring to the community our fourth birth justice event. And just to lay some foundation of what we mean when we say birth justice, it is a fact that Black and Brown women suffer from health equity issues, especially when it comes to giving birth. And that is not a facade. That's not something that is just happening, in certain areas of the world. That these things are happening right here in the Bay Area, right here in Solano County. And so when we talk about birth justice, what we mean is being able to have safe authority, freedom to have a healthy pregnancy and delivery. That is something that we want for every woman, girl here in Solano County and beyond. And the fact that that's not currently happening is really where we see the disparity. So the birth justice event is really rooted in, 3 basic purposes. And that's really the head, heart, and hand model. So one, starting with the head, with wanting to give you data, what's the concrete disparities that's happening here? We're going to achieve that with some partners in the community like Dr. Fuller, who works at Solano Hill, Dr. Stevens, who's going to give us some history on, what is a midwife? I am a 31-year-old woman, and I am just now learning a lot about what it means to be a doula, what it means to be a midwife. And I'm someone who, works in tech. I have resources, and even this information is still not a privilege that I have a lot of knowing of. But now that I work with the Solano Commission, I've learned a lot, especially around disparities that we all share here in this community. So you can come to our birth justice event and not only get that data, but also get some heartwarming stories. What does it, mean? What does it feel like to walk, this path of giving birth and being a mother and being a caretaker? What is that about? But then not just there, right? We don't want to be in an echo chamber where we're all sharing trauma stories, but we want to walk away with, that hand. How can we get activated in the community? How can we raise more awareness about this? And what can we do about it, right? We don't want to be a space where we're just talking the talk, right? We want to be a space where you can come get resources, where you can come learn more, and where you can activate yourself as well. How do you advocate for yourself in a medical setting? I know that that's something that's hard to do, especially when you're, carrying a baby, you're getting ready to, have labor. How can you have individuals around you kind of help advocate as well? So it's not just an event that's just only for mothers. We want, birthing people, women to be there. We also want people who are thinking about having a family. This is the information that you need, even if you're just considering going half on a baby. What does that mean, right? What does that journey actually include? How can you get resources and know your rights, right? You don't have to go through a traditional birthing setting. That's something that I didn't know, right? Like all your life, you kind of have this idea of that's the only birthing way that you can do it, right? If you go to Kaiser or you go to Sutter or you go to North Bay, but you don't always know about the resources that you can tap into to help support you through that journey too. So just learning about those will be things that you can experience at our birth justice event. We'll have a lot of resources, a lot of vendors, but we'll also be doing a lot of education. So watching some documentaries, watching documentaries about how doulas serve the community. Doulas are for the people and by the people. And if that's anything that I've learned, walking this journey, it's that indeed doulas are in our community to help us. They come from our community, so they're not foreign to us. So They understand, where we're coming from. They understand our fears. And also, there's nothing bad about having more advocates in the room for you, right? Especially us Black women, we need as much support as we can possibly get. So I encourage everyone, even if you don't know about what a doula is, this is a great space for you to come and just learn. It's a great space for you to come and ask questions. And we even have something for the dads, right? Being a mom, being pregnant, going into labor, all of that is on you. How can we activate our partners to also be advocates for us, right? Like I'm over here growing a hand and a foot. Can you tell the nurse that I'm not feeling well, that I need support right now? And so we want to make sure fathers have those tools too, right? When it comes to giving birth, it's an all hands on deck approach. Everybody has a role that they need to play in order to support and make sure that everybody walks out of that experience okay and well-rounded. And so we want to be able to provide a space where you can come and learn about those resources. And by the end, our hope is that not only do you walk away educated, you walk away with resources, you walk away with understanding what the disparities are, but you also walk away with a way for you to get activated, for you to be an active member and someone who also advocates for birth justice. I know that was a lot.
No, but it was good. You should listen. Thorough, girl. You shared.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. This event is really particularly important to the community for a lot of reasons. But let me just say this: birth justice, this event from the commission, is on its 4th round now. It started and incubated in COVID when we were understanding the needs there. There's a lot of documentaries out there about birthing and how a lot of Black and brown women die from that experience, even in the 21st century. It's crazy. But it also is not something that is isolated to just 1 or 2 communities. It doesn't matter how much money you make, right? It's easy to hear about this problem and assume, okay, that's only happening in an area that I'm not a part of, right? Or an area that is, lower developed. This is happening at all levels and all corners of the world, even those who have the most access, who have the most money. Even thinking about Serena Williams, she is someone who has access, who is able to get in touch with the top doctors, who is able to have great insurance. And even she still, had disparities when she was giving birth. And a lot of it comes down to bias in the healthcare system and racism, quite frankly. It's systemic. And so it's not something that any of us can really shy away from. We really need to be able to look this in the face and say, this is happening to us. This is happening to our women. And we need to be able to give a safe space for us to be able to give birth. Those are just basic needs that we need, right? And so you can come to this birth justice event and learn more about that. You can also learn if you want to become a doula. We constantly need more doulas in our community to support birthing. And so you can come to this event and learn more about how you can be a doula. I also want to just shout out Devon Crawford, who is one of our founding members of our working group for birth justice. She's been here with us from the very start. If you do not know Devon, you need to get to know her. She is a connector. She is someone who lives and breathes on supporting the community. And it's really an honor to be able to partner with her and other leaders in the community on an event like this. But Devon is a doula herself. And she's not only a doula, she's an educator. She's someone who wants to educate others to arm them with the material that they need so they can also, become a part of our fight. Look at, I have my little legacy walking in the background.
Hey, how you doing?
You say hi. So yeah, you will be able to talk to more people who have walked the path of being a doula, even if you're just curious about it. Even if you see this live right now and you're like, what's a doula? What is she talking about? I am going to encourage you to please get involved with our birth justice event. Like I said before, this was incubated in COVID. We had it on Zoom for 2 years. Last year, we had it in person for the very first time. And this year, we're going even bigger and doing it at an institution like Touro University. I want to explain why this is so critical to this important initiative. It's not enough for all of us to get together and talk about our shared stories, our trauma, and highlight this disparity. We also need people who are actively a part of the healthcare industry, who are, participants in these institutions to also be aware of this, right? The onus is on all of us to activate. And so being able to hold an event like this at a huge institution like Touro University, where they have students, where they already have doctors and nurses that are there to also become a part of this conversation, so we can sit down and say, let's look at this. How can we all do better and really make sure that we're calling out these biases, and also so that we're not in a space where if you're a bystander, you don't know what to do, right? A lot of times disparities and events might happen in proximity of you, right? And a lot of times it's like, well, what can I do about it? If I'm at a hospital and I overhear a woman saying that she needs help and nobody's listening, I need to activate as a bystander. It's not okay for me to not stand up and say anything, even if it's not affecting me. And so we really need to be able to make sure that community members, individuals, mothers, fathers, doctors, nurses, that we all have awareness of this so we can call out the behavior when it happens in the moment. It can't just be 1 or 2 people. We all have to activate. So I'm encouraging you to please come to our birth justice event. The event is free. You're going to get free food. We have prizes. We'll be viewing a documentary together. We'll be, hosting a couple of panels, including, like I said, a father's panel. How do you advocate for your partner? How do you support them during postpartum? What does societal norms, how has that affected you and being a father? So I implore you to come. Children are welcome. We'll have games and, free things for them to do. There'll be food there and lots and lots and lots of resources, most importantly. So if you can come, please come. It's on February 25th. That's a Sunday at Toro University on Mare Island. Well, once you register, we'll also be giving out a lift credit to get you there. So all you have to do is really have the desire to be in this space, and we will help you get there. We'll be offering a special lift credit to get you from wherever you're coming from to Toro University on Sunday, February 25th. I hope to see you there.
Yep. So you guys see the flyer. I just shared the flyer. So it's on the screen. So if you're viewing this from your phone, you can screenshot it.
Yep.
If you're viewing it from your computer, look, you could take a picture of it, of course, and then you could scan the QR code right then and there and register. What I can tell you about this event is that I participated last year as a vendor. So Watch Me Grow was there.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, it was such an amazing event. It really was, just the documentary that you guys share.
Yep.
And it had me reflecting back on when I was in labor with my son.
Right.
So,
don't you black out sometimes when you think about it? It can feel like a distant memory. So even tapping into that experience can be super healing with having it just, be in your spirit. It sometimes gives you something to reflect on too.
So it's it's a trip, because I remember I was in labor, I want to say for 19 hours.
Yeah.
And it was painful. But I had went through have you heard of the community baby showers?
Yes, definitely.
So and there it's a trip, because I'm seeing everybody. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to and I see
bring it together. Yep. Because there's a lot of effort, and it's all in the name of the same thing. And it's like, we are stronger together, 100%.
But then it also does give people opportunities, though. Like, if they're not available this day, I can go this day. I'm not available this day. So that's the piece too.
Yes, that's a good point. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I like that there's just more awareness around this too. Just having more concentration on the experience of birthing is beneficial. Whether there's 100 people talking about it, 10 people talking about it, I think it just helps to the cause as well. I want to go back to what you said around how attending the Birth Justice event had you reflecting on your own experience. It did so for me as well, even while planning it, because like I said, going through the experience, it's a traumatic experience, whether it's good or bad. So there's parts of you that feels like you don't really want to relive it because it's just so much. But it also made me reflect on when I had my child. So I was pregnant with my first child in 2018 as my first pregnancy. I was living near San Francisco. I knew that I wanted to go to a newer facility, so I decided that I was going to go to the Oakland Kaiser. It was brand spanking new, super beautiful, and I was really excited about that. And I'm also someone who, if you've had Kaiser all your life, you know how that is, right? There's just this level of comfort you have. You have all of your things all in one. You get used to going to the pharmacy there, getting blood drawn there, all of the things. So going to the Oakland Kaiser while pregnant, I discovered very quickly that it wasn't a great experience. I was finding that my appointments were rather short, right? Going in, the waiting was longer than the actual appointment was. It got to a point where I felt like, oh my goodness, I need to come with questions because I'm walking out of here really fast and we're in and out. And I feel like I'm still unsure about how this all goes, right? It's my first baby. And I continued to feel that. And so I did something really scary. And that was I changed my insurance in my third trimester. As you can imagine, that is super, super scary to do, right? You're in your third trimester. You only got a little bit of time to go. But I was tired of feeling dismissed and unheard. And also feeling like I didn't have enough information that I needed in order to give birth, quite frankly. I changed my insurance, and even saying that out loud, I recognize the privilege that I have to just say that. Not everybody has the privilege to just change their insurance. So I want to state that. I recognize that privilege. Changing my insurance from Kaiser, I think I went to Cigna, so I was able to birth in Berkeley. I was able to find a private doctor to use, who in my first appointment, I learned so much than all these appointments that I had been going to at my previous experience. And when I say I learned so much, I learned what preeclampsia was. I learned that if I wake up one day and my ankles are super swollen and my face is swollen, I need to call somebody. She quite frankly said, if you wake up and those things happen, call me as you're on your way to the office. You need to come to the hospital. Those are things that I hadn't learned, and I was really close to giving birth. And this was all during, in the Bay Area where we had heat waves and stuff like that, right? And as a Black woman, you get pregnant, your nose spreads, your lips spread, so you kind of feel like that's normal, right? But having a doctor say, you need to be aware of this, because if something doesn't feel right, you need to bring your tail to the hospital. Let me tell you a story too. This is how I know this is life and death. I was pregnant really, really close with a really close cousin of mine. We grew up together. We were pregnant around the same time. She was pregnant with a daughter. She was just a few months after me, I believe. So I had maybe had my son. She still maybe had a couple months to go. One day she woke up and her legs were swollen. Her feet were swollen. This was during a heat wave. And she reached out to me. She said, I don't feel well. It was hot yesterday. I went to the beach. I said, you know your body, listen to your body, go to the hospital. These could be signs of preeclampsia. This is what my doctor said, but you know your body, do what you got to do. So she went to the hospital. She ended up having preeclampsia and she lost her baby.
Oh, no.
That is a real story. That is a real story. And that's happened to me in my life.
I'm sorry.
I walked away from that scenario wondering, what if my cousin didn't get the information that she needed, right? What if she didn't get the resources that she needed? What if she didn't have she woke up not knowing what to do about that situation in a way that I was prepared because I had privilege, because I was able to, you see what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that for who has better insurance or who has a better provider. At the bare minimum, we are all deserving of an equitable birthing experience, period. A safe one where mom and baby walks out of it alive. That is our basic right. And so knowing that just happened in 2018, there's more work to do. So I just wanted to share that story because this is very real. This information that we're bringing to you is for the community. It's for you. If you watch this and you even have a spirit of, I need to learn more about this. Maybe you're not pregnant. Maybe you're not planning on having any kids. Maybe you want to support people who are pregnant and who are having kids. Maybe you're a grandparent and you know someone who is pregnant or thinking about having kids. You need to tell them to come to this free event so they can learn as much as they can, so they can get resources, and also just so they can know more about the things that they can have during their birthing experience. So I want to encourage you in those ways.
I want to share this real fast because it's just some information that is important.
Yes. I love what you're putting right there in the chat. And those are statistics. This isn't the other thing that I've learned while, working on this work and being adjacent to so many people who are in the trenches of this, like doulas, like midwives, is that this is not it's only happening in certain populations in the world. This is happening to us right here. And I keep saying that because when you read things like this on the news or you watch a documentary on Hulu, it can feel like, all right, well, I don't know that person. They that far away. That ain't happening over here. But it is, though. It truly is. And like I said, it's on all of us to get activated to do something about this. And ways that you can get active is you can learn, right? Even raising your level of awareness on this will just help you if you are in a scenario, or if you're in adjacent of a scenario, or you know someone who knows someone who's in a scenario, to inspire them to know the things that they can have, the resources that they can have, the support that is out there. And also, just it's on us to also debunk some of the myths too. I think growing up, it was kind of like, why would you want to have a baby in a bath in the middle of your house, right? It was very like, people made you feel like it was super unsafe, it was super unheard of, and it's really not true, right? Those are things that I learned by working with more doulas, by learning more from midwives, is that there are so many ways that we can support our bodies with having babies, and so many options that we have too. You don't have to just pick one route. You can have a whole birthing plan, okay? And we can go check by check by check until we get to a safe delivery. Those are things that you deserve. Those are things that are out there for you. It's all about knowing your resources, how to tap into them, learning more about them. And this is a space for you to be able to do that. Each one teach one.
Yeah. Well, I'm partnering with y'all next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Part of this because there's a celebrity. There is somebody who is from Vallejo.
Nice.
Well, extremely well known. And when I met his father. I didn't know this was his father at all. His dad is a friend of our family.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad was, I was telling him about the stuff I do with ACEs and everything. And he was like, well, what about the mortality rate and everything? And, how hard it is for women, for Black women giving birth in hospitals and everything. And how old is he's about, he probably in his 80s or 70s, probably 70s.
Wow, I love it. And he's still raising awareness on this. Yeah.
So it was a trip because he was saying how his wife at the time, his story is crazy. I'm gonna end up just saying who it is because it's for real. Because I told him when I see him, I'm like, you got to do something. Like you got to raise awareness about this. Like this is important. So he was telling me how the wife was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
The wife water broke.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the hospital, and when she went to the hospital, like they end up sending her home. Like
often. Yep, this happens often.
And so he said, he's wondering, okay, they sent her home. He said she was at home for 3 days, still no baby. And he was like, you know what, we need to go back. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Back, he said that she almost died.
Oh my goodness.
He said the baby almost died.
I bet.
And he said that okay, so when he said the baby almost died, and I was like, so when he told me that, when the baby, when the baby was delivered, the baby had something big over their eye, had like a black eye or something, but the baby almost died. And I was like, man, how's the baby doing now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say who it is.
Not you not telling it. Okay, we have to tell them we go off camera
right now. Like,
tell him to amplify this message. Absolutely, because this is a story that I've heard often, unfortunately. And my problem with that is that if we keep whispering these stories that we have in these institutions, and oh yeah, this thing happened to me, we need to scream it from our stomachs. We need to scream it from our stomachs that this happened to me. And this was unacceptable. So that one, we normalize that we are going to speak on it. We're not going to let you make us feel a kind of way or not believe our pain when we say, hey, I'm in pain, help me, and send us home for 3 days and then whisper about it at the end. No, we're going to shout it out loud that this thing happened to me. Done.
I'm sorry. She knows talking about
E40. She knew it.
Cookie, how you know?
I know this story. I love it.
It's E40. I wonder if he goes, yeah, well, y'all know now.
But, I love it.
Yep, I told him. I said that is so funny, Cookie, Miss Cookie. That is hilarious. But I
Yes,
told
Vanessa, I
him.
know what you mean. I learned a lot about this after I had my kids too. But it's also all about us like echoing it in other spaces too, right? So now I can't shut up about it. All my cousins, my aunties, if you was even thinking about having a baby, I'm telling you about these resources. I'm amplifying this in those ways because each one teach one, right? Like that's how we know. We don't know until we know. So thank you so much for engaging in the chat. I love this.
Mm-hmm. It's good platform, huh?
It is. I love it. I love this.
It's something I'm about to put on a program for our youth because I want to teach them, and it's all of this is advocating. You know, you got to advocate for yourself. You know,
Yeah,
you have to speak up.
that's
So
right.
I'm about to teach the youth how to do a podcast because I
Yeah.
want them to use their voices. You know, express yourself, whatever you want to talk about. Like,
I
let's get
love
this
it. And
out
these are
here.
good skills, presenting skills, being able to speak. The youth definitely finding ways to engage them in that way is super big.
I had a child born because her water broken exam.
Wow, and the child lost oxygen. That is super unfortunate.
Yeah. So look, when I went, to the baby shower, the community baby shower, and it's on the 24th. So I'm glad y'all things are on different days.
Great. Yeah.
That's when I learned so much information. Like as soon as my baby come out, give them to me, put them, latch them onto my
Right.
breast.
Right.
I tried to go so far without getting an epidural. Like my son's
Yeah.
father was there, so you know he got to rub my back, doing
Yeah.
whatever to take care of me. I couldn't last that long, and so I was like, I need an epidural. But
Today.
what's
Okay. I needed it like 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
well, look, so I had got it, and it had ended up wearing off on my left side.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, if it would not have, whew, I
Yeah.
kept on pressing the button, telling the nurse, calling for the nurse, like I think I'm in labor, like I'm about to deliver my baby. You know, I am about to deliver my baby. I feel it, like it is tearing me up. It was so painful.
I
It was
bet.
so painful. So I kept on calling them. They were not coming, and I was 10 centimeters. I don't know for
And
how
so
long.
you're having a baby. That's when
I'm
we need our advocates around there to just help us be a megaphone, please, and help me out here. Yeah. Yeah.
man. So
And we
I
need
was.
more education on that too, because it can be very intimidating. Like, especially, for us as Black people, you're super cautious of your delivery, how you show up, how passionate you are in your voice and your tone. And that also trickles down to our partners, right? Going into an institution, you're there with your partner, they're getting ready to have birth. It's like, okay, I'm trying to like get all my nerves right, I'm sure, as a father, but we also need your help with just being an advocate for us too. It's important to know what our desires are, our desired outcomes are, to support us in those settings. Because, baby, I'm trying to push out a baby. I need somebody to go get a nurse. Okay, I can't keep clicking on this button. Help me
Right.
out.
Right.
Help me out here, please.
Yeah.
So yes, this is such a great conversation. We'll also have, lactation information at our event. If you are someone who just recently gave birth, we'll also have some nursing centers in our facility that you can use as well. Like I said, we'll also have activities for children to do. I understand it's a Sunday, always got a sitter. That's all right. We got something for everybody. All are welcomed. And like I said, all you have to do is come from a place of curiosity. You don't have to be having a baby today. You could feel that you're done with having a baby. We need advocates. We need more people to know about this, more people to know about these resources so you can share them in your communities and your networks. So like I said, this event is free. It's free. We'll help you get there with a special Lyft credit. We're going to have amazing food there. We're going to have amazing people for you to connect with, for you to talk to. And there's an opportunity for you to even learn about how to become a doula. You can become a part of the Solano Hills doula program. It's led and certified by Devon Crawford, who is an amazing doula who's very well known in our community here in Fairfield and Vallejo. And like I said, you can grow some new skills, you can learn some new information. But our overall hope is that you walk away with more awareness around this effort, but also with resources and things that you can do to activate.
Yep. This is good. This is great. So listen, y'all. How they set this up for you all, how they set up this event for you all is that you have no barriers, none at all. You can't get there, you get a lift credit. Oh, you got children, you got childcare. Like it's like no excuse. It's like get there, get this information. I see everybody that's tapped in. Be sure that you all are sharing, share this. Share this podcast right here. Get this information out. Everything that Rayshawnda shared, girl, you are good, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That.
Whew, you are good. I really hope that there is a large turnout. There needs to be a large, listen, you guys. Last year, it was an amazing program, amazing program. I was so happy to be a part of it in some kind of way and to sit there and get that information and to hear these amazing stories. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. It's life-changing. It really is, and it's changed my life in so many ways. So I just cannot say enough. Please come, even if you're just a little bit curious. You deserve to be in this space. We'll have something for you, and we want to see you. So please, please, please come to Touro University, February 25th. We're gonna have a really good day.
That's what I love about it too. I'm sorry, I gotta share this. And then there is a way, it has to be a way where you guys could really to connect with Kaiser somehow.
Yep. Understand that Kaiser will be there, North Bay will be there, First Five will be there. We have a lot of vendors that will be there. That's another thing. If you want to show up in the event as a vendor, it's free for you to do that as well. All you have to do is register. So no barriers. That's the best part. That's the best part.
I'm going to share this flyer one more time because you guys, it's no reason. I mean, it's no excuse. None. Listen, because I don't like excuses. It's a way. It's always a way.
That's right.
Yeah. You guys get there. So again, you guys see the screen. If you're on your phone, screenshot it. That's cool. If you're on your computer, take a picture. QR code right there to register. Also, donations are welcome for it. I see that's on there.
Yeah, that's right. We were raising funds to make sure that we could provide a lift credit for our folks who are getting ready to come. So we're always open to more donations. Obviously, we want to continue to have more of these events. We have great speakers. We pay our speakers. We're also going to be showing an amazing documentary that we were only able to show the preview to. It wasn't quite done last year, but this year it's ready. It has been nominated in different movie awards and things like that already. So we have a special treat for you. All you have to do is show up. That's it.
Show up. That's all you got to do. And we're going to be sure, Miss Cookie, we're going to be sure also, you guys, to share the flyer in the comments on Facebook. We're going to also share the QR code where it's easy access. You can just click on the link in the chat. I got to get that. I got to find out how to get that. You can help me with that?
I got a link too. That's really easy for Eventbrite if you're not good with the QR code and everything like that. So we'll put that in the chat as well. Please look out for that. Please share, tell a friend and tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a church child, tell all of them. We really want to see mothers, new parents, prospective parents, grandparents, fathers. Everybody is invited. So please, please, please come.
All right, y'all. So you got all the information. Share.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be back at Tap In Tuesdays. Invite me back. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all your incredible work that you do in service to the community. We are so lucky to have you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, we'll be checking in again because we have to. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing all this information. You did amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Shout out to the Solano Commission for Women and Girls. And stay connected. Thank you.
All the sponsors, everybody.
All the sponsors. We'll see y'all soon.
All right, you guys. I will see you guys on the 4th Tuesday. So Tap In Tuesday every 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month. If you have an event that's coming up, if you have any resources you need to provide, services, any information that you want to get out to the community, it is important that we have this information. We're trying to improve our community. So be sure to tap in on the 4th Tuesday, 5:30. Have a good night.